Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Just wanted to relay to you guys a couple of messages about what we're going to be doing next. But before I kind of go into that, I want to let everybody know that your gradebook is pretty much up to date. The only thing that is missing is the final draft of your creative writing essay. So if you have not turned that in yet, I would do so as soon as possible. You should make sure that it gets into your Google Classroom because that's a pretty big grade. It's another project grade that's going to be in your gradebook. So try your best to make sure to get that done. Other than that, some other news grade-wise. We have your final paper for freshmen and for seniors. Freshmen, your night paper, and your seniors, you guys had your global issues paper. Those guys are in the grade book. If you have not turned those in, you better make sure you reach out to me. That's a huge grade, and if you do not turn that in, you are not going to pass. Plain and simple. So make sure you get that in. So that's kind of like the announcements that I have, kind of like about a lot of questions that I had from you guys. The next thing that I have to talk to you guys about is what we're going to be going into. Sophomores have already started their Shakespeare stuff, and if you haven't guessed by your assignment from yesterday, it's Shakespeare. Yeah, no, like a lot of people have reservations when you're talking about when Shakespeare is brought up. They're like, oh God, I don't know how to read that. Like, who, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Like, nobody talks like that. Like, why are we gonna read it? That, it's bogus, right? I was that way. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are sort of like thinking about that when I bring up Shakespeare. And yes, there is some nuance to the language. There is some very, I would say, kind of like archaic language and stuff like that in there. But fear not. You guys have resources that when I was in high school I didn't have, such as the translations and Google translates of almost everything. You can actually, I think, translate a normal sentence into a Shakespeare sentence. There's like a website that does that. It's pretty funny. But the assignment that we're going to be doing is it is going to be reading a Shakespeare play. Okay, and with that, I break it up into the different sections, obviously, through acts and scenes, right? So everybody, all of my freshmen and seniors are going to be starting with Act 1, Scene 1, right? Obviously. And the prologues, if there is a prologue. So what we're going to do is I want everybody to make sure that everybody gets familiar with this PDF right here. So on your Google Classroom, right now you could probably go check and it's there. On your Google Classroom, it'll say modern translation. So the play's name, modern translation. And you will open it up and you'll get a PDF that looks like that. Sorry, I'm not a really good technology guy, so I mean, I can see pretty much. So on the left-hand side, right, there is the Shakespeare language, right? That is like the thous and thus and these and whatnot, right? Then on the right side, it is the modern translation. So like a translation, so like how we would talk, right? And I think that is one of the best ways to be able to get through a Shakespeare play. To be honest, I would probably, look at the Shakespeare side, the original language, whatnot, and read it and kind of like look for the iambic pentameter and all that wonderful, stuff. But what we really want to focus on, at least for the duration of our e-learning period, which obviously seems to be a lot longer than what we currently are, or what we previously thought, I think it's important for us not to focus so much on the language so much as I would like you guys to focus on the story. Okay? So how it's going to go is every day I'm going to assign you an act and scene, right? A scene from an act, and I'm going to have a question set for you. Okay? The question set sometimes will ask you to cite evidence from the story. That's, quotes. Sometimes it'll ask you, so what happened, like major plot points and things like that. And again, if you get stuck, looking through if you're trying to be, a soldier and reading through that Shakespeare language and stuff like that, like if you get stuck, use the modern translation. If you get stuck, go to YouTube and look up a YouTube video of like what happened in that scene. Okay, those resources are there to help you. But again, I wouldn't rely on those resources completely all the time. But I would utilize as much as I possibly could. I mean, if it's there, you'd be a dummy not to if you don't understand something. Now, what's not okay is like when you're writing your papers and whatnot, or not your papers, sorry, your docs, and you're answering the questions, going and Googling the question, seeing that somebody did it, copy it and paste it. That's not what I'm looking for. Because that's not showing me that you're thinking. I much prefer, like I said, I always say this, I much prefer the wrong answer that is your answer than somebody else's answer from the internet. So, with that being said, okay, you are going to be reading one act, one scene, and you are going to be, one scene from the act, and you are going to be answering some of the question sets. And that's going to be every day. So I'm going to be asking you, read a scene. It's going to be, and then, so on that day, I'm going to ask you to read the scene. Usually it'll take you about 10 to 15 minutes. Then after that, I'm asking you to answer a question set, which are about, sometimes it'll be 5, some longer scenes are like 8, and answering those. So that would be about 15 minutes as well. So that would probably equal about half an hour a day. I'm going to give you deadlines onto when to do it. I'm not going to deadline storm you like I did last time. I think the creative writing one kind of made everybody freak out. Oh my God, we have so much to do. When, it was kind of step-by-step type of stuff again. But what I will do this time is I'm going to just kind of post them every day, the next assignment for you to do. And then you'll be able to keep up that way. Again, all of them are going to be due that specific deadline, which is going to be that night at midnight, or that next night at midnight, in this case. And then, that's pretty much it. All of them are going to be put in on Sunday. So all your grades for the week are going to be still put on Sunday. So make sure you hit those deadlines. If you miss a deadline, it's not the end of the world. Get it in by Sunday, you'll still get credit for it. Same policy, same. Very easy. So I want to thank you guys for continuing to do your best. I tried to not make this a super long video. So what I want you guys to do right now is, if you have questions or anything like that, put them in comments. Shoot me emails. Don't send me questions via Blackbaud. Blackbaud takes forever. Sometimes you can send me a private comment on Google Classroom. If you send me a private comment on Google Classroom, normally I'll see it. So just shoot a private comment if you have a comment. But the best way to get to me is through email. My email is connected to my phone, so I'll see you have a question. I'll get back to you in 10 minutes. That's about it. Unless any other questions or anything like that, shoot me emails. Those are the best ways to get to me. Keep up your stuff. Keep up your grades. Most of you guys, I would say the majority of you guys, about 90% of you guys are kicking butt and turning in stuff on time and passing, doing well. The lower 10%, we haven't been doing much, and I need to make sure that changes, okay? So do your best to get your stuff done. Other than that, I appreciate you guys. I miss you guys. Please be safe. Yeah, so take care.